The presence of the first Africans in Canada can be traced back to the 1600s. Their stories of strength, courage, and perseverance in the struggle for freedom are an integral part of not only American but Canadian heritage as well. This is the African Descent Canadian History in British Columbia.
So we always have workshops here. And we created this studio in the memorability of, I've seen Jimi Hendrix there. So those are a lot of black people came into Strathcona were artists. So many of them, the musician is, as we've been looking at into this area. That's from music, then they become entrepreneurs. So I'm always encouraging younger people when we come here for the history walking tour programs, that it is our duty. If you have a talent, if you have an opportunity, that there is an opportunity, you can use it for the dream. You know, we are dream builders, you know. So don't sit on your talent if you have a talent. You know, look for people who can help you to execute that talent. If you are interested in music, you've seen as you are walking in this neighborhood, you are going to see, we started at Vice Chicken and Steak House, and you've seen Vice, she was a younger woman as an entrepreneur. She started a restaurant, and then we see Nora Hendricks, she was a dishwasher, she was working there. And then you see the sleeping car porters, they fought and labor fair practices. And now we look at Sam Bassey founded the London Drugs in Vancouver. Those were all dreams they had. They didn't know whether those dreams they would be, but definitely they persisted on chasing those dreams. So this walking tour which we are doing today, history is helping us to understand how the particular people we are studying, how history shaped the lives of men and women we are talking about. So I'm really encouraging you and the teachers that you should always utilize the talents plus the creativity and the talent plus the knowledge you are learning to school. When you combine them, that is when you're gonna see things happening, you know. Yeah, so Joe Fortes, see, I think I gave you all of you the posters for Joe Fortes. That is Seraphim Joe Fortes. Joe Fortes came to Vancouver down the early days of a year before Vancouver caught fire in 1885. And he lived at 534 Camby with Martha Scarry. As a young man, he was still struggling where to stay in Vancouver. He didn't have a place. But Joe Fortes had an idea as a talented swimmer. He came from London as already a talented swimmer and athletic person. Then he decided to look at where he should utilize his talent. Then he went to English Bay, and he founded the English Bay Beach. He's the key pioneer of English Bay. He's the father of English Bay. He discovered English Bay, and he asked the first mayor for Vancouver that I think Vancouverite, they need a space where they are going to have spent a leisure time. And the mayor said, which place do you think that English Bay is the perfect place for them? And he asked the mayor of Vancouver to construct the street. You know Davis Street? Yes, that is the man who proposed the city to set up that Davis Street, go down into the beach, and now today you see English Bay Beach, one of the Canadian topmost entertainment and the leisure place in Canada. Because of what? So it takes one little person to think the dream, and that dream will benefit the rest of other people. Why you see us all the time we come here. So anytime, I think everybody should tell us, what you have a dream? Which dream do you have?
I don't know. That's a big question.
Yeah.
I hope to pursue art in the future.
Oh, art in the future. And sister, what is your name?
I just want to graduate.
You just want to graduate? The dream now is for you to get a graduation degree. So it's like having a dream that you really wanted to graduate. There are a lot of things you are going to do in order to graduate. Number one, you must revise books. Number two, you must get information. Number three, you must do the homework. Number four, you can ask the teacher. So a combination of different, even this is part of the learning. This is part of learning for you to get a degree, to graduate in high school. The teacher may bring a question. Okay, class, remember the time we went to the walking tour? Yes. Mention it for the most influential black person in Vancouver. Say, I don't remember. So This place where we are standing at one of our famous places in Vancouver. This is called, was known as this is a prayer restaurant, Mother Prayer Restaurant. As part of the growing migration of the African Americans from United States, Oklahoma, Nashville, and San Francisco, one of the most influential black women in Vancouver, the Mother Pryor. So Pryor family, now they are in Seattle. They went back in Seattle, but this was one of the first earliest restaurants opened here in Vancouver during the heydays, whereby the Pryor family opened up this restaurant. Pryor restaurant became the most successful restaurant in Vancouver until 1970s, when the city constructed the viaduct down there. The Pryor family had also to leave, and they went back to Seattle, and now many of them, the descendants, are in Seattle. But whenever you come to Vancouver, please give respect and pass over to Pryor restaurant. It was a late night restaurant. Downstairs was always a restaurant, and upstairs karaoke, dancing, music, dancing and jumping all the night. It was here, karaoke and nice food. Thank you so much again. So we are going now to go back to the actually it's not the it's not the same thing, but possibly maybe the city should name this Pryor. Yeah, Pryor Street. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, yes. Okay, so we are going now down to the Pryor Street. Come this side, I just wanted to see this. So we are standing here at the third party stop. This is specific areas for us to look at when you're looking at the history, exploring the history of the African descent community here in Vancouver downtown, or the Black Strathcona, as you may call it. So this place is known as the Hogan Alley. The Hogan Alley, as you remember where we started down at Jimi Hendrix Shrine, we said, I told you that Hogan Alley, this is the end of Hogan Alley, right here at Goa Avenue. So, but what is Hogan Alley? As I explained it to each and every of you here, the beginning and the end of the Black Strathcona, this narrow lane, just 4 blocks long, was like no other in Vancouver. Black migrants, mostly Americans or African Americans, who first settled into Victoria, Alberta, arrived here in Strathcona and made their homes here. But Hogan Alley, the Hogan Alley became a fresh point for both for its vibrant nightlife and for the urban renewal scheme that ultimately destroyed this neighborhood. So what is the urban renewal? In 1936, in what is known as the Canada Housing Act in 1936, the government of Canada was trying to resettle and provide settlement settlement housing, better houses for the returning war soldiers in the First World War. So what happened, the parliament passed the law in 1936-38 that they should construct modern housing for the returning war soldiers. That agreement resulted into what we call today the mortgage. So the government of Canada created a department of Central Mortgage and Housing Corporation, which is in Quebec headquartered. And that is their job, was to provide research on slum and blighted neighborhoods in Vancouver or in across Canada, and then they provide the report to the government. Then it was the purpose of the government of Canada to provide the security, better housing conditioning through the Central Mortgage and Housing Corporation, which has the headquarters, other offices here in Vancouver downtown. So what happened here in Vancouver? The houses were not built at all. The modern houses were not built. See what happened. The City of Vancouver, when they got money from the federal government, they did not build the houses. They instead proposed to build the viaduct. And it was that viaduct which you see right there that ultimately destroyed the black community, which was thriving in Vancouver by then. People like Professor Leonard Marsh, who was a professor of social work at the University of British Columbia, his wife Betty Marsh, who was also working in the City of Vancouver Housing Association, which is the BC Housing today, they put the proposal that there is a need to study the poor housing condition within this neighborhood. The original name for Hogan is Alley, it is not Hogan is Alley. The original name, as I told you, that Hogan is Alley is a derogative nickname. The original name for Hogan is Alley is known as the Parker Lane. Parker Lane, that is the name of this neighborhood. And this area where we are, Strathcona rooted the name during the urban renewal study by Professor Leonard Marsh. He is the one who coined that name, calling this neighborhood Strathcona, relating the name from Strathcona school, down which you are going to see later. So the neighborhood by 1972, the black community in Vancouver, entirely the black people, all of them had been destroyed under the result of the construction of the Georgia and Dunsmuir Viaduct in Vancouver. Blacks left their housing. They adopted their businesses down in order to survive, to leave the neighborhood, which was a kind of racism and racialization or discrimination of those immigrants who seemed to be very weak. And I said that discrimination is being unfairness to other people. So the city was not really fair to the blacks. Until now, everybody already left this neighborhood.
Where were the houses built? Under the viaduct?
The houses were not built.
Oh.
The city decided to put the viaduct instead of constructing the housing. And we are going to go to the church. A comic strip, it was a kind of a comic strip. It's a ghetto in nature. And whenever you go from Main Street, down from Main Street, the alley was down here. So when you go, you run away from the church, then you could definitely go into the Hogan's Alley. That was an alley. And then the viaduct destroyed most of the southern part of the Hogan's Alley, making life difficult. And the city put the viaduct there. It was a signal to put an end of the last black migration community in Vancouver. That was the end. After the destruction of this neighborhood, the entire black community, they had to leave this area, and that's why you can see there is no anymore the blacks into this neighborhood. Many of them gone. They're gone completely. And we are going to walk you can definitely see the elements of the old ways that this neighborhood used to look like. And then we are going during the heydays, 1950s, 1960s, 1940s, right from 1918, the blacks acquired the African Fountain Chapel Church here. They could live into maybe during the working hours, Nola Hendrixie, the Vice, the Mother Prior, they could put down their work, and on Sunday, Wednesday, you can see them going to the church. So this walk we are going to walk today is to walk into the footsteps of the first black waves of the black migrants who came into this neighborhood. We are going to pay them the tribute, to remember, to memorize, to honor how they used to walk from their community here, going down towards to the church to play on Sunday services. Thank you so much. Walk with me again.
Oh